Well, to me, it's more about trivializing the failure, because the failure is never really a failure. It's just a roadblock that you didn't know how to get through. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah, so there's so many people that if I say, okay, the first 10 businesses you're going to start, they're going to
I'm
fail.
gonna fail.
They
Yeah.
go, no, mine's going to be amazing because I read this one book that teaches me exactly how to do it, and it's going to be different. And I was that guy that had read the 4 Hour Work Week, and I'm like, I'm going to do it. We're not going to carry any inventory. We're going to pre-sell everything. It's going
Yeah.
to be brilliant. And
Uh,
some of it worked, some of it didn't,
yeah.
because the plan never survives like the first actual part of where you get into the battle.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like there's so many people that if I'm like, okay, the first 10 that you're gonna start, they're gonna fail,
Yeah.
but the 11th one, that one's gonna work.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people won't do it because they can't get it right the first time?
Yeah.
Like, and there's a much smaller section of people that are like, all right, cool. Well, let me just crank through these really quick.
Yeah, let me just make 10
Yeah.
businesses together, start 10 business, let them all fail and start 11th. There
And
are only a few, yeah,
yeah, and some people knock it out of the park first time, and I don't want to set a limit on anyone. But
yeah,
I'm just saying, if you view it through that lens, and then it just becomes, okay, here's a thing I tried that worked or doesn't work.
yeah.
There's no giant identity or belief about yourself getting thrown onto this that can trip you up a lot. So so the original question you asked me is like, how do people get stuck on this? It's like one, they're not actually trying.
Yeah.
They're not actually willing to make it work or
Mhm,
have it not work. And
mhm.
then the other thing is they just got something going on where they have like their neurology is not lining up with their gut feelings. Basically, they have uh, survival patterning going on in their brain that worked a long time ago and no longer is working. So it's like either, yeah, yeah, they have like a subconscious block or they're just not really trying.
So it's important to at least try, right? And expect a failure, and even though you know that it's gonna fail, you go forward. That's the part of the adventure.
Yeah, I mean, just be willing for it to
Yeah,
not work out
yeah,
without you staking like a big sense of your self worth on it.
yeah. That's something really important. What you just said, self-worth, right? And I feel like that's a big problem that some of the people are really good at, making, I wouldn't say making sure, but they know their self-worth. They don't need external validation. They fail, they get rejected, and they will still continue and they will keep pushing forward. But a lot of people, they struggle at the point of self-worth. And that is I think the main problem why their relationships sometimes don't work, and why they're, even if it works, they are stuck in a relationship where they are giving away too much. They are either stuck in a job where they are giving away too much because they don't value themselves enough. They don't go and start a business because they don't value themselves, or they don't have credit for themselves that they can actually do it. They actually believe that they can't.
Hmm.
And that's something, it hits me, and it makes me cry for those people, because I'm like, what one man can do, another man can do, right? It's only the question of whether you really believe in yourself or not. And as a mindset coach, what do you think about it? How can we get through it?
Well, if you give me an example of someone, I would, it's kind of tough for me because
Uh,
I like working one on one.
yeah.
So if you give me like a more of a specific person,
Take me,
the
take me. We had a session last time, and I was jealous of my friend, as the girl that I was interested in was attracted to him and not to me, and that was kind of a history like 10, 15 years ago for me, right? But now you remember what happened, and can you describe it in your own words with the approach of a mindset coach? Is it a really complicated question or not? First thing.
yeah, yeah, a little bit. So you're
Yeah.
talking about how do you handle like the jealousy?
Yeah, the main belief is that I'm not good enough, right? That's the
Okay.
main belief, that I'm not worthy of, or we perceive ourselves as not worthy.
Hmm. Yeah. So usually what happens is at one point in time, we did that. We took that belief on because it worked really, really well. So let's say, for example, um, yeah, let's say, for example, with this one, with you being jealous
Yeah,
of your friend,
yeah,
perhaps a long, long time ago, you getting jealous at someone else getting something was a really, really positive solution. Like, say, let's say as a baby, you're sitting there,
yeah.
and I don't know if you have a brother, but we'll imagine that you had a brother, and let's say your brother had this really shiny toy that you wanted, and you really, really wanted to play with it. So you got jealous and you threw a temper tantrum, and
Mm.
then what do you know? Mom came in and then grabbed the toy from your brother and gave it to you. Like that strategy works really, really well for a 3-year-old. And what
Crying
hap-
and yeah,
and what happens is that that's what get that's what gets locked into your like caveman instincts. So it's basically like as much as you want to analyze it and think about how, um, like why you shouldn't be jealous and blah 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 and all that stuff's going,
yeah,
the little part of you that's the 3-year-old that wants a shiny toy,
yeah,
like that part of you fires off in your brain, and until you go back and like look at that patterning that you got
mm,
and change the way that you feel about that,
yeah,
and it's gonna keep firing off. It's no different than like the Einstein and the caveman analogy I give all the time. Now you got half your brain that's works like Einstein, half
yeah,
works like a caveman.
yeah,
And if there's a loud bang and you see Einstein and a caveman in front of you, and the caveman sprints off into the distance
yeah,
because he's scared shitless that he's going to die,
yeah,
I mean, would you be more interested in hanging out with Einstein and like analyzing the situation and helping him come up with his theory for why that loud crash and why there's a
yeah,
growling right around the corner?
yeah,
Or are you like out with the caveman? So that's what's going on your gut level. So this, yeah, like I see this stuff holding people back all the time. Like one of my clients, though. I mean, one of them that was he had an I'm not enough thing, and
mm,
because of that, he didn't go on a single date for 2 years.
yeah,
Yeah. He's a good looking dude. He's like running a business. He's making okay money, not like amazing money, but he's doing okay. And yeah, he just didn't feel like enough. Then we did like one session where we changed the way that, the younger part of him felt
mm,
about that. And then what do you know? Call him 3 weeks later, he's gone on 7 dates. And then he gets a girlfriend, a couple weeks later, and they're traveling around the world. And I just missed him in New Zealand, but there was nothing, smart. There was nothing about that situation where I was like more intelligent than him. I was just like an IT nerd for his brain, and I was like, dude, here you got this error message. I know how to fix it. And
mm,
then once you change that, it just works.
mm. It's a
So
lot like reprogramming your brain, um,
yeah,
and looking at some of the memories and changing the perspective about that memory, so
yeah,
that doesn't trigger the caveman and flight or fly or fight or flight mode.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, the story I give all the time to help explain that is it's like the story of me when I was a little kid.
yeah,
I watched this movie when I was like 10. It's called Leprechaun. And there's this one scene in the movie. It's about this like killer leprechaun where there's like this black hallway with a open spot for the door,
yeah,
and then the leprechaun jumps out and like starts stabbing everybody with a knife or whatever. And I was 10 when I saw it. It scared the living shit out of me. So then I'm like in high school. My parents, they would leave their door open, and they swear it looked just like the movie.
yeah,
and I would walk up the stairs and I would see that. And even though I know there's no killer leprechaun, I would still feel something weird inside, and I'd want to like skip past that. And I would just like quick step past that door. You know, I'm in high school. Like I know there's no leprechaun. There's not even a shred of possibility that there's a leprechaun there. But for some reason, I would just feel weirded out by it. And then this is when everything changed, was when I went back as an adult, and through my adult eyes, I saw the same movie. And then I could see the special effects were terrible. I could see how horrible the writing was. You could see like the animatronic leg of the leprechaun, and it became like more funny. It just kind of like lost its scare factor.
Yeah.
And then like I'm not afraid of leprechauns or empty doors anymore. But the thing is, with a lot of people, their leprechauns are a stable relationship. Like, I don't know. Like they're raised in a family where it's like their parents are constantly at war, and then they start getting into a stable relationship, and they're like, I don't know, there's something about this. It just doesn't feel normal to me. And their caveman starts freaking out. You know, say they start making more money. Success feels weird. Like it's kind of alienating. You know, it's like it's a weird feeling when I'd go to my thing and be like, "Hey, our sunglasses company, we just got picked up at GQ." And I tell that to my friends, and I could see like their weird looks on their face, and they're like, "Well, mine didn't." And fuck. And it's like I'm like, "Oh no, now I can't relate to you. My success is going to threaten my sense of belonging." Uh-oh, that sends off some warning signs. And yeah, you know, there's all kinds of this stuff going on. And the coolest thing about it to me is this isn't something there's nothing wrong with you if for this. You know, that's just your survival patterning. You know, when I was a 10-year-old, when I saw the leprechaun thing and it scared the crap out of me, it's a really good thing for that thing to keep me safe anytime I saw something that resembled the thing that I was scared to.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really effective way to protect us. You know, that's like how we didn't get eaten by saber-toothed tigers.
Yeah.
Because we would hear a growling and we're like, Larry died. And in the tribe next door, right after he heard that sound, boom, we're out of there.
Yeah.
I love Larry the Caveman.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, it's a really effective thing until it's not.
We all imagined we were like 10 people in the room, right? And we all had our own imaginations of the dream day or the day in life where we are all happy and everything is happening according to what we really want. And all of that was coming from a space that was a little deeper than just your memories and what other people tell you. You know, I could see, at least for me, that it was coming from, I saw things that I never saw before, and nobody had told me those things, right? So all those dreams and imaginations, they came from a space which was much deeper within me. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So, you know, when you go to, so the Copa America, I like soccer, so I've been watching some soccer. The Copa America was just on.
Yeah.
You can watch the game on TV, and that feels one way. Or you can go to the stadium, and that feels an entirely different way.
It does, yeah.
So in the dream day, one reason I like doing this in groups is because that same energy, that same intangible buzzing that you get, like when you go to a stadium and watch a game, it taps into that. As well as if you have a whole group, you start seeing that people are kind of rooting for one another.
Yeah.
And they're trying to help each other through this process of visualizing the exact thing that they want. There's this subtle pressure for you to figure it out, and there's this subtle collaboration too, where everybody wants you to figure it out, and that creating a safe environment where everyone feels the energy ramped up a little bit. And I just try to connect with everybody that's there. And I don't know exactly what it is that I'm doing, but I can feel it when it's working and when it's not. And when I connect with everyone, and then they can all feel this little energetic field that we got going on. That kind of stuff can emerge. And it's nothing that I'm putting there. I'm just kind of setting up the context so that stuff can come out.
For our listeners and watchers, can you explain the process? Like, how do you start the dream day, and what do you make people do in that dream day situation?
Yeah. So the problem that it addresses is a lot of people don't know what's next for them in life.
Confusion.
They're confused. They want clarity. So the dream day is a visualization that I walk people through. So first thing you do is we do like a little meditation that has no religious connotation at all. It's just literally something that gets you more attuned to your senses and gets you to chill out.
Breathing mostly.
Yeah, it's breathing mostly. And then there's a visualization component where I guide you through the visualization of your dream day. So what I mean by that is just like an average day in the future that's absolutely perfect. And when I force it down to one specific day, it makes a lot of your abstract wants and desires concrete. Instead of going, oh yeah, well I want to have 5 vacation homes, and I want to have the freedom to travel everywhere, and I want a bunch of passive income coming in, and I want to be shredded physically, and blah 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 blah. That gives you one feeling. But if I tell you, hey, so you wake up on your dream day and you look in the mirror, you can see the definition from your tricep. And right underneath there, you see like this gorgeous woman that's like cuddled up next to you, like looking through that little hole in your arm. And your house is up in the mountains. And you take a breath in, and then you can taste the crispness of the air. And you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm here. It produces a little different feeling.
It's somehow like compacting all your desires and dreams into one single day, as if you are already, what if you were already living it? And
I think it's awesome if you're already living that. Usually once you start living your dream day, then it's time for another one.
Now, as in you, in your visualization, I'm just simplifying the way you describe it, right? Sometimes we have a lot of desires and dreams, and I want a car, or I want to do something important in life for other people. I want to have a good relationship and everything, right? And that is, they are different perspective, different dreams, and somehow they could also be disconnected dreams. Somehow they could also be conflicting dreams. And we never realize how to get them all, or how to combine them all into a single dream or something, right? And in this dream day, somehow all your dreams are combined into a single day, like a single timeline, and you can see everything that you ever want and ever you desired right there in front of you. So that's a really intense visualization technique. In simple terms.
Exactly. Perfectly described.
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to get in touch with Zach, his website is in the description. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. It really helps me. So I'll see you next time. Live the life you love.